Hey friends, welcome back to OG Universe. Thank you so much for stopping by and spending some time with me. We're taking a look at a figure that I really was on the fence about purchasing. And I do like to purchase my DC Multiverse figures, definitely. And I don't collect everything, I just collect what I enjoy. I'm not a completist. I need to have every figure, every gimmick figure, all that kind of stuff. But this one here, McFarlane Toys, DC Multiverse, Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice, Knightmare Batman. This figure is extremely interesting for a lot of reasons, for what it doesn't have, what it's lacking, but what it has and what it exemplifies. So let's take a look at the packaging, what you get with this figure, and then we'll have a pretty good discussion about this Knightmare version of Batman. So the packaging does have some really nice photography. You got Mr. Ben Affleck there portraying Batman. You got bullet holes in the Bat logo. The coat looks grimy. His costume looks dirty. He looks very cool. Very nice. And I really appreciate on the side here, we got Batman, Nightmare, Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. I love the gold. I love the Superman Batman logo. That looks fantastic. There you go. Now, in addition, you're getting, well, unfortunately, not much. You're getting some binoculars, and you're also getting some goggles that the figure has on already. But one interesting little thing that we pointed out in our Wonder Woman review was the inner case here, the inner lining, which we've seen for years. Well, probably the past 4 years hasn't really changed. It's been some kind of golden age artwork of Batman and Robin, Superman. We got some Silver Age stuff in there. We got Green Lantern, Sinestro, a whole bunch of really cool stuff. I don't know if many people noticed that, but we got some new stuff here for the very first time. We got the Superman Batman logos. We got some really interesting kind of graffiti artwork of Batman and Superman. It looks fantastic. I'm really digging this. You also got the display stand, trading card artwork. So you got all the regular stuff there. And then we got this figure. Now, this figure is, man, I want to say when I first saw it, I'm like, okay, it's not bad. But took him out of the package, played around with it a bit. I was really not feeling it. But then when we added some weaponry from munitions pack, my goodness, this figure just turned around. It just impressed the hell out of me. Just the way that he can hold these guns, put him in some cool action poses, and man, it's such a different Batman, because we don't get Batman with guns. We don't get guns very seldomly nowadays with the DC Multiverse lineup, unless they do some kind of special collector's edition kind of thing where they can get away with that mandate from Warner Brothers about weapons and guns with their DC heroes. You got to put a plus 17 or 18 on the packaging. Not for kids. This is not a toy. That kind of gimmick. But man, this is impressive. So let's take a closer look at our Batman here. He doesn't come with these weapons. They're from the munitions pack. But man, it just adds so much more to this character, to the figure. It's very impressive. So as you can see, you've got the goggles on the head now. They were a very tight fit. It's a very rigid plastic. I would just warm it up a little bit so it's a little more pliable, and then just slowly, gently put it on top of Batman's head here. And speaking of his head, it is a phenomenal head sculpt. It looks absolutely awesome, extremely well done. It does capture Ben Affleck's likeness, and then in certain ways it doesn't. It's just a really good Batman head sculpt that you can use for customs. I don't think I'd be moving it around too much. I think I'm going to keep it on this figure because it just looks really good. So let's take these guns out of his hands, which kind of glad to say both of the hands have trigger fingers ready to go. Very nice. The detail on the figure, man, it's very good. I was kind of shocked how good this figure is actually. The detail on the coat, the texturing is just really well done. The gradation of colors here, I kind of wish it was almost through the entire coat, a little bit blended into a more of a black wash on this, which would have done, I think, just wonders for the overall appearance of the figure. But the fatigues look really good. These are probably recycled pants. I can't put my finger on who. Maybe Grifter, possibly Red Hood from the Arkham Knights, Arkham City game. Maybe, not 100% sure. Then the torso just looks phenomenal. Really nicely done. I like how the bat emblem has all these scratches. It looks worn out. It's not this bright black. It's dusty. It's dirty. It looks very cool. Now, if you wanted to take the coat off, you're gonna be stuck with these arms. So you could remedy that. You could pop these arms off. You could put the Batman that came out a few months ago, probably about 5, 6 months ago, the Dawn of Justice version with the cape. You could swap those out. You can have a Batman in kind of like fatigues, I guess, if you wanted to go that way. That's something different. But man, it's really well done. I'm very impressed with this character in this figure. This is a really good version of Batman that surpassed my expectations exponentially. And that's pretty bold to say, because when I saw this figure in the package, I'm like, yeah, it looks pretty cool, but what the hell, man? It is bare bones, which I don't like. That's the only real drawback from this figure. It really lacks accessories, and I think it needed, if you're not going to put, a Batarang or extra hands, I would have really appreciated the alternate head sculpt. Give me an alternate head sculpt, unmasked Ben Affleck head with a cowl as well that can be held by Superman. That would have been a great touch to have for this figure. We all know that scene where Superman captures Batman. They're in the bunker. Superman uses heat vision on Batman's comrades. And then he goes up to Batman, rips his mask off, and you just see Ben Affleck there. And you see some fear in his eyes a little bit, because this is a maniacal Superman that's going to end you. And it was a really cool scene, and I'd love to be able to recreate that, but unfortunately didn't get that. That is probably the only real glaring aspect about this action figure. Overall, it's damn impressive. So let's take a look at some articulation that this figure has, and you can look up pretty good. Not too bad going down. You got the side attitude rocking that. Now if we take a look here, it doesn't look like he has spacer joints. You just have that big kind of opening there, which I guess is used to accommodate the jacket maybe, but he does have full rotation in ball joints that connects into a socket in the shoulder, bicep cut, double joint ratcheted elbows, you got ball joints at the wrist. Now let's see how much this coat limits his articulation in his abdomen. He can go down pretty good, back not too bad, not too bad at all. He has a ball joint in the hips, ball joint at the waist, of course, and double jointed ratcheted knees, ball joints at the ankles with the sculpted ball joint, toe articulation, ankle rocker, pivot, all that great stuff. Now, I do want to say that the coat is a bit more pliable. I thought it'd be a stiffer rubber. It is a little stiff on the bottom here, but it does give way to the top, so it doesn't inhibit articulation in the shoulders at all. And it's actually pretty nice. The only thing, like I said, a really nice black wash would have made this jacket just look so good. It's a little too bright, a little too clean, but it's still really cool. And it's simple to do. A simple black wash would have brought out so much of the detail, because there is an extremely good amount of detail and texturing throughout this entire coat. It's just really good. So let's get him into a bit of a straighter pose here. Yeah, it's just an impressive figure. I'm kind of gushing a little bit because I'm very shocked how much I like this figure. I'm shocked how much I'm liking the entire wave, really, because, this is a movie that came out a long time ago. I thought it's one and done. We did get that Batman, but who knew that'd be opening up the doors to an entire wave of some very good action figures that I really wish kind of McFarlane would go back and redo some of the Justice League stuff, just kind of tweak some of the figures, add some new kind of up-to-date articulation, ball joints, all that kind of stuff. But overall, this is a damn good figure. So let's bring in a couple other characters that we can put alongside this Batman. Of course, I'm going to bring this guy in because I just want to see how these two look. You got probably the best version of Batman in the DC Multiverse, and that is the Hush Batman. And this Batman from Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice is quite tall as well, so I appreciate that. And comparing these two, you got the best comic version, I think a really interesting movie version. Could you blend them into a comic book shelf? Yeah, I think so. I think so for sure. You can imagine this Batman in the desert, maybe tracking a League of Assassins or whatever. That would be really cool. And it suits in just fine in both kind of universes there. Woohoo! Quick reflexes. And then I want to bring in this one. This is my Red Hood, and this is kind of like my under the Red Hood. Red Hood. This is kind of like my gangster Red Hood that takes over Gotham within 24 hours kind of thing. I love this figure. I just wanted to see how a heavily weaponized Red Hood would look with this guy. And I think this could be a, if I want to do an Elseworlds storyline, what if Batman used guns, brought in his protege Red Hood, who uses guns, and really kind of takes over Gotham in a different kind of way. Not with justice, but with vengeance. That would be kind of cool to see that aspect in a what if kind of Elseworlds storyline. Those look really good together. And then probably another one of the best movie figures in my opinion. This is a customized skydive Batman. We just took the head from our Arkham Knight Batman, popped it on there. And man, I just really, really like this figure a lot. It is such a good figure. Now, don't get me wrong, I do appreciate the Christian Bale head sculpt that was on this figure. That's been donated to the Arkham Knight Batman. He's, sporting some new armor. I really do like this figure a lot, though. Man, it is an awesome figure. If you don't have it in your collection, I think you really should pick it up. Definitely add it to the Dark Knight trilogy. Definitely a worthwhile figure, and it's cool to see these two guys together as well. And then, of course, we gotta bring in this guy here, Superman, Henry Cavill. For the longest time, this was my favorite Superman, without a doubt. But there have been so many good Superman incarnations in the past few years, kind of knocked it down a peg. But I'm really anxious to open up the Doomsday Superman 2-pack and see how they tweak that figure, if there's any significant changes between this one. But yeah, these two guys look awesome together. Oh, if we just had like an alternate head for this guy with the heat vision activated, just an angry Henry Cavill head sculpt, man, that would have been incredible to see. And then again, you never know, they might do some other gold label release, maybe a different head sculpt, a 2-pack, who knows, down the road. Would be great to see that though. And then I just want to bring in this one because, man, bring this figure out. He's been in his package for quite some time. This was actually, I think, the first figure I reviewed on the channel. And he's just a really fun action figure. I really love the styling, the detail, the candy red, kind of really awesome saturated red. Looks so damn good on this figure. The lightning bolts in gold, just impressive. And to see these two guys together, man, that'd be cool. There's still, I really think you could do another wave of Batman versus Superman, the Zack Snyder Justice League. We could definitely see a Jared Leto Joker. I'd love to see that. An armored up Flash, Ezra Miller. That Deathstroke unmasked would be just amazing. Man, I would love to see them continue on with some of these extra characters, and they'd make some brilliant action figures. So, guys, I'm going to tell you, it was a little disappointing taking this figure out of the packaging and just getting nothing, but I'm sure you guys have some extra weaponry kicking around, your munitions pack. Add them to this figure. It just adds another dynamic level. It's just like having a cloth wired cape. It adds more articulation to that figure. Would this figure have been better suited to have a cloth wired coat? I don't know. Maybe, but I really like this one. It just needs a black wash and it'd be pretty damn perfect. But definitely a surprising figure that caught me off guard, and I just can't believe I like this figure as much as I do. Add those weapons, and I think you got a stellar version of Batman that's really unique and just so well crafted. Well done, McFarlane Toys. Very well done. There you go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications when I put new videos out. They jump into your feed, and all your support and feedback is so greatly appreciated. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video.